So Chucky season 2 has come to an end with Chucky actually. Um, Spoilers, obviously, but let's just get that out of the way right now because we're going to jump right into it. So I would assume the title, because it's a Christmas episode, it's a play on the Love Actually and all that stuff, right? That was that Christmas movie, right?
Yeah.
With the sign, like, you're perfect to me. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah,
That's Andrew Lincoln, right, from Walking Dead. All right, to Keira Knightley.
Yes.
We were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Anyways, getting to the point of the title is that Chucky is actually a Belle doll. I think that's right. That's what this title is.
Chucky actually is a Belle doll.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, Chucky's used this trick before. I know we're jumping straight to the very, very end, but I just wanted to address the title. But Chucky has used this trick before, where he's worn makeup over his face and whatever to make him look like a different doll. He did this in Curse of Chucky when he was a new good guy doll, and then he revealed after he pulled off of his makeup that he was actually the Bride of Chucky doll that we all knew from before. Because back when Curse of Chucky came out, we all thought that it was a reboot, right? And that we were going to ignore the films of the past because Seed of Chucky was so poorly received, and it had been a long while since we'd seen Chucky. And so we got the new doll, and it was like, oh, okay, it's not the old Chucky. It's going to be, but they're still voicing, and Mancini's still involved, and we're just kind of rebooting it, doing this soft reboot kind of thing where we just, ignore things a bit. And nope, the reveal is that doll is actually the doll from the other 5 movies, which I loved when it happened, when he pulled off the stuff and the scabs underneath and all that. So Chucky's really good at doll makeup.
He's really, really good at it.
Now, how long has the Belle doll been a good guy doll in disguise? So for Carolyn to have kept this doll, we did just jump straight to the end. I'm sorry. But that's the thing I want to talk about the most.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see people being annoyed with it or something. But at this point, I've just come to accept pretty much everything that happens in this show. At this point in the franchise, it's just like, okay.
You just don't think.
They'd have to really, really go overboard for me to be like, okay, this is getting a little much, right? I'm pretty much in.
Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much in. So this is about as good of an explanation as you're going to get. If you want the show to end and you thought, because for a minute.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was like, I think they're ending this show. I think this is it. This might be the end of Chucky. Maybe they got canceled.
Oh my god.
And so they were like, okay, well, let's just give them a big grand send-off.
But that's not the case.
No, but it does seem to be the case. Well.
So I have.
Do I think Tiffany's dead?
Hmm.
No.
I don't either. And so with Carolyn and the doll, so she gets that Belle doll in the beginning of the season when she's
beginning of season 2.
Yeah, of season 2.
Or season 1. She had it.
She gets it whenever she goes to therapy.
From Dr. Mixter. That's in season 1.
That's season 1? Oh, wow. I thought
pretty
that
sure.
happened in season 2. Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay. Well, either way, whatever time, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what season she gets it in, I guess, for the point, because I think that probably has been the Chucky doll from the moment that she got it. Because Dr. Mixter gave it.
Because it's from Dr. Mixter.
Yes. So I think that it has been Chucky.
So how long has Carolyn known that it's a good guy doll? Because she...
For a long time.
I would think she'd need to know.
Yeah.
Because she's up close and personal with that doll.
Yeah.
And she's playing with it a lot. And she could easily reveal that it's a good guy doll.
Sure. Yeah, I think she's known from the beginning. And I don't think that she's had a problem with it because we get in this episode that she's evil.
Yeah.
And which I have, long suspected would be the case. And even, in season 1 when she was interacting with Chucky, like, she's never really been, like, super off-put by him. So I think that she would have accepted that it's a good guy doll, like, right away, and that it is Chucky, and just been on board with it.
Do you think that that's the last Chucky doll? Because
No.
we've been told how many times now that that's the last Chucky doll?
It's not, because you just can't keep a good guy down.
It feels like the Friday the 13th franchise titles at this point. The Final Friday. How many times now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's never over. It's, this Chucky will probably get decapitated and then, he'll fucking pop up out of who knows.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yes. No, yeah. I definitely
come out of like a freaking fortune cookie or something.
100%.
I have no idea
something
at this point.
Weird.
Yeah.
There's definitely more good guy dolls out there that he could jump into.
I've said this before.
Yes.
This is 1,000%. There's more good guy dolls out there. This is absurd to me.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh, there's 72 of them and that's it. No, there isn't.
no,
there isn't. They made
there's
thousands and thousands of those dolls. Hundreds of thousands of those dolls.
Yeah.
For 2-3 different runs.
There's so many.
There's so many.
So I don't think we're going to run out of that as an option. The other big thing that happened this episode was that Glenn and Glenda both died, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. Well, their splits died. Their human bodies died. Those little kids grew up and their bodies are now dead. That shocked me. I actually have to say I was very surprised at Glenda's death. I was not expecting Glenda to go. I thought it was just going to be like Glenda was hanging out with, because that actor, is now gone, right? They're not going to do anything anymore in the show. So that actually quite surprised me. But
it surprised me too.
With the ending, if Tiffany is still alive, which I'm assuming she is, that makes sense for keeping Jennifer Tilly in the show. If she's like, I want to be in the show. And then it doesn't give Nika really anything to do. She gives this big setup of like, I'm going to torture and I'm going to kill you and I'm on the hunt for you. And if Jennifer Tilly's body is dead, if Tiffany's dead, then what does Nika have to do with the story anymore?
Right.
Right? Like, you have this big setup of this showdown where she's coming after her.
Yes.
And then Chucky just kills her. And then it's like, all right, bye, Nika. I mean, I guess Nika could want revenge on Chucky.
No, but it makes...
It's Tiffany she wants the revenge on.
And Nika has had a tough go of things. So I think that she is at this point kind of like losing her hold, like her tether on reality a little bit. Like I feel like she's going to just start going off the deep end. And also, having Chucky inside of her for so long maybe left a mark in some way. I mean, obviously the trauma of just sharing your body with another being, but also, Chucky being who he is and how he thinks, like... I just think that I hope that we see a very unhinged version of her in the next season, because I'd like to see that. And I also wanted to say that I love the Glenn Doll's makeover. I was like so excited the second that it cut to them with the like jacket, or the vest rather. And Gigi is so good. It's so good. I'm obsessed. So I really hope that we get more of Gigi, which I think we will, because Nika says that they call her every week, once a week. So, yeah.
I also want to clarify, Nika has all the reason in the world to go after Chucky. Chucky stabbed her when she was in the womb, paralyzing her from birth. He killed everyone she knew, put her in a freaking mental institution, put his soul into her body, making her do terrible things, introducing her to Tiffany, getting her arms and legs cut off, ruining her entire life in every imaginable way. So I want it to be very clear. She has every reason to go after Chucky. I just think that her focus currently is on Tiffany, but she could easily still have relevance in the show. I'm going to take back what I said there, but it was the setup. Yeah. Is really just like, okay, well, I guess I'm after Chucky now. I don't know. It feels a little anticlimactic compared to what was set up there, but it doesn't mean it can't be done because she has every reason, and I would totally be like, yeah, okay, she's going after Chucky. But there's already Jake and Lexi and Devin, they're going after Lexi. And now Lexi and them have a reason to be pursuing them because she wants her sister back. Yes. Right? And they think that she's been brainwashed and they think that she's been lied to. Whether or not, now, okay, we could finally be getting to why. Why was the Chucky doll brought into this town, into Jake's possession, to then, Jake's father, his father's with Junior's father, and Junior's dating Lexi, and Lexi is, sisters with Carolyn. So they're trying to get at Carolyn in this insanely roundabout way to eventually become part of it. So, is what Chucky told her true, that she is adopted? And if so, how is that possible to have made sense for, like, a connection to Chucky? I think it's a lie. The only thing I'm saying is, like, we've never truly gotten an explanation for, like, why them. Because it's just, I need a kid to kill, right? I need a kid to commit an act, so I'm just going to put myself up on an auction block in some, town that I grew up in, right? That's the explanation. Yeah. That's the best explanation we got. But if they want to try to, expand upon that and make it connected, because do I think they had the plan to make the Belle doll Chucky from the first time we saw it?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, but
I don't know.
They brought Dr. Mixter in, and as you said, Dr. Mixter is the one that gave her the doll. So that was a clever bit of writing there, as far as that goes. But I don't know if it was the plan. I don't know if the plan will now change to be that Carolyn is actually somebody else, and she isn't actually related, and that's going to be one of the big things they find out. But who would she be related to?
Yeah, I don't know. Tiffany's the one that brings the good guy doll to the garage sale that Jake gets it at.
Yes.
But
she drops it off there specifically.
Right. Specifically there. So
like some random garage sale in Hackensack, New Jersey. Yeah. Like, where does Jennifer Tilly live?
Like
in this show?
In the show? Or in real California, probably?
She can't be that far away.
I don't know.
She can't be that far away.
I don't know. I don't know where Jennifer Tilly
They're
lives.
driving.
Maybe somewhere East Coast, then.
She came all the way out here to deliver that
You're right.
to New Jersey and then drove all the way back home and then drove all the way back out with Glenn and...
I don't know.
Or
I
with
actually don't know where she's
Kyle and Glenda.
It's got to be somewhere East Coast then, but I don't know what the plan...
She probably lives in Jersey. Just further, or New York would make sense. It's not that far away. Whose house blows up?
Jennifer Tilly's house.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And that one's definitely close.
Yeah.
That one's really close because they're going to it.
Yes.
Like on a bike.
Right.
Right? So yeah, she lives real close. And then she moves probably not too far.
Yeah.
Okay. It does seem like they're driving for a long while once they got Jennifer Tilly in the back seat with the Glenn doll, right?
But they could be driving, I don't know. They could be driving like for an hour or a couple hours.
I'm sorry, Kyle is with Glenn and Nika.
Yes,
I was flipping who was in what car. Sorry.
regardless, I don't really know if the plan from the beginning was to specifically get to Carolyn or what. I don't know. But I want to see more of her because I've wanted to see her go crazy for a while.
So getting back to the beginning of the episode, I don't even know if we were ever there. So getting to the beginning of the episode, more like it. These previously ons are just as bad, if not worse, than, next time on Chucky. Because these, I get it. They need to remind people who don't remember certain things and whatever. And sometimes I can be like, oh yeah. But for the most part, it's always like, hey, remember this random thing that happened 15 episodes ago?
That we haven't mentioned
since. And you can immediately piece together exactly what's going to happen the second you see that thing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, come on.
So that's going to go down.
And then you see Billy Boyd's name in the credits. And I'm like, oh, so Glenn's coming back. Which is fine. I knew he was, right? I knew he was. But it's just, you see it, you're like, okay, so this is the episode. Which is the last episode of the season. So you know it's this one. But it's just stuff like that where you see the opening. It's like, previously on. And you're like, oh, here we go. Tell us everything that's going to happen. But anyways, okay. So as predicted, Dr. Mixter was switched with Chucky. And the jaw was blown off so she couldn't tell anybody. As I had guessed. I mean, no pat on the back. That was pretty obvious, but it was good to get it confirmed. As we had talked about, this is the Christmas episode. Chucky uses the Tiffany approach to Voodoo here and does the switch. Yeah. We will talk about the good guy doll, Belle doll thing again, because I don't understand. Maybe you can make sense of it to me. How Chucky was able to possess that doll. How is her committing that without Chucky's soul? Because it's a good guy doll. If you say,
so you mean when Tiffany is trying to do the possess?
Yes.
Possess. He's already Chucky. It's already Chucky. That's why it doesn't work. Because she's trying to switch into the doll, but it's already inhabited.
How long has he been inhabiting the doll?
I think he's been in the doll.
I don't think that's what happened.
I think he's been living with Carolyn
Why
the whole time.
Why bother letting it get to that point? Why once they leave and they get in the place, he just rips it? It's all for theatrics? It's for us or it's for her?
It's either that he's been in
I
that
got
body,
it that she brought him back in that scene.
Or Carolyn did, because Carolyn's been reading the Voodoo book.
Sure, but she was only 10 pages in.
I know. But
I
think it's been Chucky.
And to add to that, so long. Glenda. God, I always flip them around. Glenda is like, hey, Mom, I need you. You're the only one who knows how to do the spell. She brings the voodoo doll for dummies. Now, of course, this is just kind of a cute little callback to Bride of Chucky. Mm-hmm. But if Jennifer Tilly had to buy a voodoo doll or a Voodoo for Dummies book, then there's no reason that Glenda couldn't have done it herself with her mom talking her through it on the phone. There's no reason she had to come in.
I mean, sure.
I read that book and I was able to do it. You have been a doll. You could definitely do it. Because Jennifer Tilly comes off, or Tiffany comes off as very ditzy. And so,
I love her so much.
And so Glenda 1,000% could have read that book.
Yeah,
and done it. And she could have just been just go to page whatever. Just do this. Just read this phrase. That's all you got to do. Literally, it's the easiest fucking thing. You hold a candle, you put some salt in a pentagram shape, you put the doll on top of it, the Adui Dumbella. That is it. That is it. There's nothing there. You're the only person who knows how to do it. Bullshit. It's in the book.
I think that I think that the Belle doll has been actually Chucky for a really long time. I don't think that she switched him in or made his soul go into that body. It doesn't make any sense unless there's some other component that we're missing.
I mean, it's okay.
I'm just gonna guess that he's been living with Carolyn for like a long time.
That makes the most sense, right? That does make the most sense. The way I read the scene when it happened is that she performed the voodoo. She said possess, and he became possessed with a different soul, not hers, because it's never been possessed before.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's been switch. It's been, give me the power, I beg of you, that stuff. But never possessed. We've never heard that at the end of any of these rituals. So to me, that specific wording is possess, but possessed by who? Possessed by you? And it's because she specifically says, I need a Belle doll. I can only be transferred into a Belle doll. So she's trying to possess the doll with her soul, and it doesn't work because Chucky has ownership over that make and model.
But he's already in it. Like, he pulls off the wig and like he's the Chucky doll.
It is the Chucky doll the whole time.
Oh, you're saying that he just disguised, but then it's still Chucky then.
He's given her Dr. Mixer from the beginning gave her a good guy doll disguised as a Belle doll.
Right.
For a fail safe.
Yeah.
To where if there is no other Chuckies left, then Carolyn, you need to go to Tiffany. You need to find her, or she'll find you. She'll come for this doll, and she will try to possess this doll. And in doing so, because I have ownership, soul ownership over this doll, when she does that spell, I will come to life through that make and model, and then I will rip off. He doesn't have to go into that detail, but I'm just saying, like,
I see what you're saying.
It doesn't make any sense to me otherwise why he would bother waiting. Yeah. Why he wouldn't reveal himself as soon as they were in the car or whatever. He's just going to wait for her to do the whole ritual. And why even take the risk? Why even take the risk to let her do some voodoo spell where it's like, it's kind of up in the air. Who the hell knows? He's going to let her do that, and then maybe he takes over. Maybe she does take over the damn body. Yeah. He's not 100%. But, like, regardless, we can throw that shit aside. So what we could see in season 3 is we could see that Chucky has been at Carolyn's side the entire time, whispering and talking to her, and then when everyone comes in the room, he becomes Belle again. Yeah. Right? And just sits there, and he's been Chucky the whole time. But I don't think so. And I don't think so because that wouldn't be Chucky Prime anymore. Right? Chucky Prime is dead. He got chopped up with a chainsaw. That's Chucky Prime. The Chucky Prime was in Dr. Mixter. Dr. Mixter's transferred the soul into that body. Chucky died. That is Chucky Prime. Yeah. So Carolyn would be carrying around a knockoff Chucky. A Chucky split. Yeah. And that, to me, it's always going to be Chucky Prime. And I think she brought back Chucky Prime by some botched voodoo that only she could do using his spell. Yeah. I don't know. No, what do you guys think? Yeah. That's what I want to know. Yeah. Do you guys think it was Chucky the whole time? It's Chucky all along. If you didn't watch WandaVision yet, no idea what we're talking about. But yeah, wow. I didn't. Okay, we saw that scene completely differently. I had questions on whether your version was it for a second, but I was like, I don't know.
I like your version. Now that you've explained it a little bit more, I think that it does make sense, and I'm fine with either version of it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit.
So yeah.
But I think your version makes sense to a degree because the whole point is that Chucky couldn't transfer to any other doll if he died. Right? Like, he's like, if there's no other... But he kind of said... I guess... Oh, no, okay. He did specifically say, if I die, that's it, because this is the last of this doll. Not because of me, but because this is the last make and model of this doll.
Yeah.
And so Carolyn has an ace up her sleeve, right? She has a make and model of that doll in her possession, and she's instructed to get to Tiffany. You know, that's why she comes out and protects her. You know, what she's protecting, I don't even understand that, because at that point when she reveals herself to be a fucking psychopath, and she's like, "Here's the knife, put it to my throat," it's like, okay, kill the little bitch then.
Well, I mean, Lexi still cares about
I know, I'm
sister,
kidding
to
a degree, but I'm not 100% kidding. When I was seeing that, I'm like, okay. I mean, if you're putting yourself up on the auction block, but I get it. She's a kid. She's manipulated, and you know, you don't want to see someone you love die because they've been, you know, goaded into some freaking cult. No, so yeah, so. But I don't know. With the whole Lexi, I keep calling her Lexi, Carolyn thing, I don't know. Seeing Michelle, Lexi's mother, halved, split, Terrifier, bone tomahawk style, was wonderful. And I thought the gore in that was just as good as anything in Terrifier or whatever like that. Really that halving was just as wild.
It was great.
Kind of actually reminded me of the halving in Wrong Turn 2. I know you've never seen it, but
but it was a good scene.
Yeah, I mean, you just want her to die.
I did. I wanted her to die, and everybody wants her to die.
Yeah. That live stream thing,
oh my God,
where she's acting like Mother of the Year, and I was like, what is happening?
Awkward.
I thought maybe she was like in recovery too, or was talking to a new therapist, or had lost her mind. That was kind of what I was thinking at first. I was leaning towards like,
she's a little crazy now.
Yeah, Michelle's lost it.
Too much stress and too much pressure from. Nope, she was just trying to get clout for being a good mom. And it was cringy. She's just a very out of touch person with her family and with her life outside of like, you know, her appearance and her social reputation. Because like when Lexi starts to talk to her at the dinner table and is like, "I'm sorry, like I've been blaming you," and she just like she responds with something that makes no sense. Like she wasn't listening at all. Just like, "I'm glad you're taking," what was it, like response, or that you see how your actions affect other people.
Right.
And Lexi was just like, "What?" Like that kind of stuff is so horrible to see. So I'm glad she's dead.
Yeah. She's the Colossus of clout.
The Colossus of clout.
You know what that's from?
No.
No?
Maybe I do, but no.
No. Okay. Mom. What's that from? The Colossus of clout. The Colossus of clout. No.
No.
I don't even know if you've ever seen that movie.
Oh, okay. Well.
You never seen The Sandlot?
Yes. You showed me The Sandlot.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute. I think I showed it to her.
I don't know all the lines.
No, it's fine. It's just when they're going through all the different nicknames for Babe Ruth when they're trying to tell him. It doesn't matter. Which is why I don't ever hear anybody use the word clout much. I use it seldomly. I remember when I heard you say it, I was just like, the Colossus of clout. I kept saying it in my head while you were talking.
Oh, I used to not know what that word meant.
The Great Bambino. But you didn't know what that meant. Yeah, I mean, at one point, none of us knew what any word meant.
That's true. But I mean, like somewhat recently, like within the last 4 years or so.
Oh, okay.
Like that, yeah. I'd never heard that word before.
Little freaking Scrabble word for you.
Little freaking Scrabble word, yep.
I think I knew what it was because of The Sandlot. So for anybody who says movies are for morons,
they teach you things.
They teach you things. I learned how to shave from Lethal Weapon 2. Told you this before. With the grain, not against the grain. Thanks, Marta. Okay. And yeah, okay. We've talked about it. I just, it's funny. I have to point certain things out just because I think they're so silly. But at this point, we said it a million times, you can't take anything in the show seriously. But I love how there's so many things that happen in this hospital scene that I was just like,
my God.
What?
Yeah.
Number one, the whole book thing we've already talked about. You're the only one who knows how to do the spell, whatever. Bullshit. That's not true, and we know it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I guess it would be kind of hard for her to do it to them herself, maybe? But Jennifer Tilly does it to herself in Switch. Yeah. I don't know. Now, the way that Tiffany is created in the first place is by electrocution. Mm. So when they brought out the defibrillators, I thought that maybe somehow that was what they were going to use because that's how Tiffany was created.
Yeah.
Originally. Then Jennifer Tilly was created by the Voodoo switch. Anyway, there's totally different versions of Voodoo spells and throughout this franchise at this point.
Yeah.
Also want to point out that Chucky has a visa. I don't know how he got that, how he got approved.
The Chucky visa.
That was ridiculous.
Just to see Chucky.
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell? I deserve it. The world's quietest
chainsaw. But yeah, so Glenda calls Tiffany and she's like, only you can do it. Bullshit. Then she's like, you're going to have to be Jennifer Tilly one last time. You got to give the greatest performance Jennifer Tilly's ever given.
Gosh.
To which Jennifer Tilly's greatest performance ever is to put on a really quick doctor's costume, walk through the hospital, and then when a nurse says, like, Merry Christmas, doctor, or whatever the hell she says to her, she's like, yeah, Merry Christmas.
That's it.
That's it. That's her performance.
Yeah.
I was like waiting for her to go to the guard and be like, oh.
Oh my gosh, I know. I thought it was going to be a whole thing.
Yes, but no. The dude comes in and doesn't immediately like call for backup and pull his gun or anything. Of course not. And she doesn't really give much of a performance there. She just kind of says it like a thing, and then she hits him over the head when he's not looking. I don't know why he turned his fucking view from her. But whatever. Yeah. But then there's a crash cart in the room for fucking whatever reason. They don't keep crash carts in rooms, to my knowledge. I've never seen a crash cart in a hospital room. Like they bring them in, like get me a crash cart, and they bring them in the fucking room that I've seen. I don't know. Maybe they keep them in the room.
I don't know.
But I've never seen one in there because they're fucking dangerous. Well, defibrillators, you know. And then they set a dude on fire right in the room.
Yes.
And in a hospital, the fucking fire alarms, the smoke detectors don't go off like instantaneously.
Oh my gosh.
Bullshit.
Yeah, there would definitely be some smoke alarm or some fire alarms.
There's so many things in this show. You just got to be like, okay.
Yeah, I definitely think that like we have a little bit of like rose-colored glasses when it comes to the show.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's fine. I mean, we just love Chucky. And
is that why Glenn's hair's red?
Yeah. Because of the glasses.
Yeah, the rose-covered glasses.
But other people watching the show, I could, if it's not their thing, I think that there would be a lot of little problems that they could find that would make them really upset.
Yeah, as you said, it's like when you're disliking something, it just compounds, and you're like, oh man, everything pisses you off. Yeah. It happens to me. It happens to me every time I watch a movie I hate. It's like every stupid little thing pisses me off. And if it was happening in something I was enjoying, stupid little things exactly the same would be like, that's all right.
And for Chucky, like there's a lot of like pretty like silly things that happen that don't have logical explanations or just don't make sense, but we just go past them because everything else is so much fun. And
a chainsaw sticking in a woman and sawing all the way through her as she just stands there without falling, and Chucky, who weighs like 1 ounce,
he's like
is able to freaking like pull the chainsaw through her. No,
he's strong.
I mean,
him coming down the chimney with the chainsaw and the Santa hat.
Yeah,
that was pretty wonderful.
And then doing his 12 days his Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Yes,
little rhyming and whatnot for the kids to slay upstairs and all that. He does the 12 days of Christmas at the very, very end. Yeah. Anyways, Jake and Devin definitely have a rough time of their relationship in this. The podcasting gift, and I don't know what the hell happened because the way they edited this, it was like the 22nd, Jake shows up at Lexi's, Devin comes downstairs, Jake is like, I gotta get you a Christmas present. And he's like, don't run off. I want you here. All I want for Christmas is you. And everyone who hates that Mariah Carey song started shooting themselves. And then Jake leaves the house to get this Christmas present. And then 2 days later, on the 24th, Jake comes through the door and Devin's like, where you been? And he's like, I got you this awesome gift. Open it up.
Yeah.
And Devin sits down. The way that's edited,
yeah.
I don't know if what they're trying to say is that Jake was gone for 2 days. Where did he go? It's snowing outside.
Seriously.
He has nowhere to stay.
Yeah, I don't think he's meant to be gone for 2 days. I think
it took him 2 days to find a present. So how many times did he go out looking for this? Where'd he get the money?
That's a good question.
I am super confused on that whole thing. Why did it take him 2 days to show up with this present?
I don't know. I don't think it was supposed to be like he was gone that long.
But he left to get it and then didn't and came back? Then the next day went out again for the whole day? Didn't find it? Came back? He's like, I researched it. This is the best one. Okay. So you get out your phone, which they have next to them when they're sleeping. You grab your phone. You look up the podcasting thing because you're like, he's still into podcasting, which shows the disconnection from them since he hasn't been interested in a year. And he's just like, going off of information from the other days when they were different. Yeah. And, that shows, as I said, that shows how separated they are. But this whole scene makes no sense to me. I can't wrap my head around why 2 days later Jake is returning with the present. And I'm just like, there's no explanation for it took him days to find it? Or he left every day for hours? Because he's like, where you been? When did he leave again?
Right. Yeah.
Can anyone explain that to me?
I don't know. Yeah, I definitely can't. Because I'm as confused as you are with the timing.
Okay, moving on.
Yep.
I actually don't have much else to say.
It was actually a really quick episode, even though it was a little longer.
Yeah. 3 weeks later, after Tiff's in New York, and Nika has somehow become like a mastermind spy and has mastered her wheelchair and her hook hands.
She's freaking John Wick.
So, yeah, that's that. Chucky season 2 has come to an end.
I can't believe it.
Do you prefer season 1 or season 2?
I don't know. I guess the problem is that I really love Glenn and Glenda. I love Gigi. So that was like huge for me this season.
Yeah.
I would say that really elevates it. But I don't know. I don't know which season I prefer. I hate choosing favorites, so I'm not going to.
You don't have to.
Do you have a preference though for which season you like more?
Not really.
Yeah. I think they're pretty even, honestly.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of stuff in season 1 that I was super excited about. And it's the same with season 2. So
season 3 predictions before we go, if it gets renewed.
Gosh, Jennifer Tilly. No, Jennifer Tilly's still alive.
Yeah.
Maybe she's being held hostage now. Maybe Nika and Chucky team up to torture her for some reason.
Yeah. You think she'll ever become a Tiffany doll again?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I don't know if that'll happen this next season, but I do think she will become a Tiffany doll again, even if it's for a brief period of time.
Will you be shocked if she's dead?
Kind of, because I feel like her death basically happened off screen. Like, if she's just dead in the beginning and we don't see her die, like we don't actually get that death scene, I will be pretty shocked. Because she definitely deserves to have an on-screen death if she's gonna die.
So if she dies...
Yeah.
Couldn't Chucky find a Belle doll, use the same exact ritual she used on him, and bring her back with the possess?
Sure.
If it's that
theoretically, yeah.
If I'm correct on my assumption.
I mean, Chucky kills her first, right? Before he's the one that does the voodoo spell to put her into the Belle doll.
Yeah.
So he could do that again if he kills her and has a Belle doll. He could trap her in. But she wouldn't feel trapped. I mean, she'd be happy because she like kind of was excited about becoming a doll again. Yeah. Which I thought was adorable. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think just Carolyn's gonna be crazy. And I don't know where we're gonna go from there, but what do you think? What predictions?
I definitely think we'll do a good time jump. Mm-hmm. I think Carolyn and Chucky will be living as like father and daughter murder team. I think Carolyn will kind of substitute for Glenn in what Chucky wanted out of his child. Right? Because I think Carolyn's gonna go full in. But I don't know. If they're trying to do some kind of redemption arc, she can't go too far in. So she's like just straight up murdering people right and left in the show. I don't know. Yeah. Nika's going to want revenge. We got to keep her relevant in some way.
Yeah.
How Jake and them will come into it. Of course, Lexi wants her sister back. So they're going to be looking for her. And... it's 1:46 in the morning. Holy shit. Okay. I think that's that. I don't know. I got nothing.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see where this ends. So maybe if I had more time to think about it, but I put myself on the spot. We'll see. So, Chucky season 2. What'd you guys think? What's your favorite season so far? Are you looking forward to a season 3? Do you want a season 3? Are you done with this shit?
No. Yeah. Maybe though, but you shouldn't.
No, it'll probably get renewed. So, fingers crossed. We shall see. You never know. Could be the end. But you can't keep a good guy down. Alright guys.
Bye.
Till next year. Or the next video.